Hello, my name is Ellen. I'm 33 years old. I come from England, but at the moment I'm lucky enough to be living in Innsbruck in the middle of the Austrian Alps. I have worked as a nurse for the past 11 years, and with that job I've been lucky enough to travel around the world. Since I've been living in Austria, I've developed a real love for baking and desserts, and I have been baking and making desserts for probably about 3 years now. What I wanted to represent with this dessert is the changing of the seasons in the Alpine area. So I went outside and I picked some of the flowers that are growing up on the forest at the moment around here in the mountains, and to make the floor effect I made a salted pistachio crumble. The mountain is made from tempered chocolate, which was a bit tricky but it did work, and I made the snow from meringue. What's a little bit frustrating about the season change in the Alps when it moves from winter to spring is that it still snows quite a lot, which is a bit frustrating. And the Austrians have a saying, "Die neue Schnee frisst dem alte Schnee," and that means that the new snow will come and it will eat the old snow away, and underneath spring will be revealed, which is exactly what I'm going to show you with my dessert now. So here comes a new dump of snow, and hopefully it's going to melt away the old snow. So the new snow has melted away the old snow to reveal underneath, I think I'll have to give it a little bit of help here, some profiteroles, which I have covered with a raspberry glaze, which you can sort of see, raspberry being a nice spring fruit. And I also filled it with a crème patisserie, which what I did was I infused the milk with the new shoots from the alpine trees that are growing in the forest around here. So hopefully, together with all the summer flavours of the alpine trees and alpine oil and the raspberries, it will taste like a nice spring dessert. So I will give it a try and report back. Very good. Shame you can't try. So now I've put some videos together of how I prepared all the components of the dessert. So I'm now going to make the raspberry glaze, which is going to cover the profiteroles. To do that, I have 100 grams of raspberries with a little bit of sugar on, not too much, because later on I will be adding icing sugar and I don't want it to be too sweet. So these are the ingredients I will now use to make the crème patisserie. This is the milk which earlier on I infused with the fresh pine needles to give it that nice pine flavour. Here is a mixture of corn flour and plain flour, and then here I have 4 egg yolks with some caster sugar, which I will now mix up here. Now I'm going to make the vanilla sauce. So normally I would use a vanilla pod, but unfortunately right now In Austria, they're quite hard to come by, maybe because of coronavirus, so I'll have to use the paste instead. So I have some milk in the pot and I'm going to add some cream along with a generous teaspoon of the vanilla paste. And I'm going to heat that up on the stove over here on a medium heat. And in the meantime, I'm going to mix together the sugar and the egg yolk. Whoops. It's going to come off here. So now the eggs and sugar and whisk till they're pale, and I'll add the corn flour and normal flour and fold it in. And now I'm going to bring the milk to a boil before adding it to the mixture. So the milk has now boiled and I will add it slowly to the egg mixture. Now transfer the mixture into a bigger saucepan and I will slowly bring it to the boil and let it thicken. The sauce has now thickened. I'm going to put it in a bowl to cool down and cover it with cling film, touching the top of the cream so it doesn't form a skin. I'm making the pistachio crumble, and here I have some sugar, flour, good teaspoon, a bit of salt because they're going to have like a salted taste to it, salted pistachio, some corn flour and some melted butter. So now I'm going to make the choux pastry. I've got all the ingredients out and I'll start by basically putting in some milk, water, some 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar with a pinch of salt, along with some butter. Oops. And I will heat that up on the hob. The first part of the choux pastry dough is just in there now. It's going to cool down a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to crack the eggs and whisk them a bit together before adding them slowly into the first part of the choux pastry. Now I'm going to transfer the dough into a piping bag here and pipe out the profiteroles onto this baking tray, which I have lightly brushed with water. So now I put them in the oven for 10 minutes at 190 degrees. Profiteroles are ready, so before I pipe in the cream, I'm going to make small crosses so it's a bit easier to pipe in the cream. Now I want to make the meringue, which is going to go on top of the chocolate mountain. So what I'm going to do is heat the egg whites and sugar together. I wanted to make sure the eggs are a little bit cooked because obviously it's being piped on top of a chocolate mountain, so it's not going to be heated or cooked at all. So it's going to be a raw meringue. So in goes the sugar, and I'll give that a mix. And then I'm going to pop that over the water bath until the sugar dissolves a little bit. Thank you for taking the time for watching my video, and I would love to have the opportunity to get a bit further in this competition. Thank you.